Hey everybody, it's Crappie Dan. I want to talk about pulling boards and specifically the setup of how to pull boards and the terminal tackle that's required with that. What I like to use in the way I set up pulling crankbaits or jigs or road runners with bobby garlands is I use the Shore Tackle Tadpole. And as you can see, my line comes from the rod to the tadpole with a clip right here. This tadpole is a #1 tadpole, so it's approximately 1 ounce. This does not dive. What it does is it allows you to plane down the baits that you're pulling behind it. So it makes it consistent at a certain speed for the bait that you're pulling to be right where you want it to be where the fish are. From it, I put on a clip, and I then have it anywhere from 3 to 4 feet long, a leader, and I like to use 8-pound test on my leaders from the tadpole. The line before the tadpole, I use 10-pound high vis, all gamma fishing. As far as the bait I choose at the end of this leader, I really like to use crankbaits. This is a bandit. And yes, I use, as you can tell, a deep diver. And I will use now square bills for shallow water pulling. So square bill crankbaits are also good for crappie. So I use bandits and I use Pico INT crankbaits. And both of those are excellent when it's crankbait season. We actually caught one fish today on a crankbait. So it was a crappie, and then we also caught a bass. So these work very effectively in the summertime and in the early spring pre-spawn. When the water temperatures are still cold, they work. The other thing I like to use on this terminal tackle is not just crankbaits. I love to use road runners. I like to use on those road runners 2 plastics, the hyper grubs from bobby garland, as well as I really like using any kind of a curl tail bait like strollers from bobby garland. So on road runners, those 2 products are absolutely excellent for going out there, and you can make it happen. So ahead of the tadpole, the boards that I use, and I'm going to set this down. There's 2 boards that we use. My wife and I, Sue, we're a team. 2 boards we use, the OR12, which is a flag tadpole, on above the tadpole, is a flag board. It has an orange clip and a red clip. The red clip is when you break the line free up here, when you have a fish on, it's going to stay on your line using the red clip. So this is the rig that I use for the OR12s for the outside poles when I'm fishing the boards. On the inside, because I pull 4 for each side of the boat, and in the inside I pull these new I call them awesome boards because they are awesome, and they just are an effective way. These work real good for crappie because they're smaller, and those smaller crappie, you'll see them more effectively on a small board than you will on a bigger board. So these are the 2 boards that I pull and attach those to the line, and the distance from the tadpole is dependent upon an app that I use. And that app is done by Precision Data, and they now have it for crappie baits. So Precision Data, you can download it for a yearly fee, and it's pennies on the dollar. So offshore boards, 2 boards that I use. I want to give you a tip on this when you set them up to use them on this. When you do the settings on here, these are set up where these boards can be used for many species. Make sure on this spring right here, it's in the lowest one of these holes. Put it in the lowest hole, and that's going to allow you then to come in and allow that spring to be easier pulled by smaller crappie when they hit on there. So you're going to see that more effectively on the smaller fish. Anyway, try this out. It's a great way. I hope it works for you. I'm Crappie Dan. Have a good day.